Well, I am Kelly Anderson Gregg. I am the Vice President of the Titusville Historical Society. Crawford Gives is extremely important to our organization because that is where the bulk of our general operations funds comes from. With grants, we've been very fortunate that there are generous grant agencies here in Titusville that are specifically serving Titusville institutions. And that's wonderful when we have a program. We have a lot of America 250 stuff coming up, so we can ask our grant friends to help us out with those things. But operating budget is just an entirely different animal, and we have to have our secure space here in order to be able to do all of that programming. So for us, it's just a huge help to be able to know that every August we can fundraise for those needs. So the match is really great for us because one of the things that we try to do here at the Society is if we're putting on a presentation, if we're putting up an exhibit, whatever we happen to be doing, we try to shop local for all of our supplies. So when we see local partners making those matches, giving those funds during Crawford Gives, it really makes a huge impact on us. We feel like we're really being supported, and we are. I mean, just that's the actual reality of things, is that we are getting the funds that we need in order to do the things that we believe are important for our community. I think it's great. I think it's showing so much community interest, and it's such a great relationship builder. You know, when you're in a small town, you're used to knowing the people that you do business with. You run into the people that you know when you're out shopping, and that's why we want to be here. That's why we want to raise our families here. And so to continue that type of relationship at a corporate and nonprofit type of level is really exciting for us. The camps are a really great example of how the community helps us to put things on. So we do have fundraising that we do for those things in order to meet specific camp requirements. We also want to be able to offer scholarships. If any of our students can't cover the funds, we want to make sure that cost is not an option for anyone. So one of the things we did in History Camp last year was we hosted it right here in the gallery, and we worked with the paintings that you see beside me. This is our Martha Herbst collection. So what we did last year was we had a really fun project. We had all of the tables spread out with construction paper, and the kids were ripping and tearing and gluing and making their own house portraits like what you see behind me. And one of the students just got it in his head that not only was he going to do his house portrait, but he was going to make it 3D. And it was just like spur of the moment, out of nowhere, his own creativity. He was so excited with how it had turned out. All the other students are oohing and awing over it. They were a real team working together, and they left with all of them having smiles on their faces. They went away looking at their town in a different way, and that's our goal every year. For us, one of the big projects that we have is out at Woodlawn Cemetery. And if we want to continue to enjoy these spaces and use these spaces, we take tours through Woodlawn all the time, and they really, really resonate with people. If we want to keep doing that, then yeah, we got to keep the grass mowed. One of the big stories that comes out of Titusville is John Heisman. John Heisman was born in Cleveland, but moved here, grew up here, learned how to play football here. And through the research that we've done, we've been able to give a little bit more context to his life here. One of the reasons John Heisman never returns to Titusville after he graduates college is that, one, he's on his way to his first coaching job that he wasn't paid for. Two, his parents had moved out by this point. Three, his brother is tragically killed and is in fact one of the people who we stop and visit at Woodlawn, because people are really blown away that Daniel Heisman is buried out there. He was in an unmarked grave for a very long time, and it took a dedicated group of volunteers, I think back in the 80s, to make sure that his burial place had a marker. On behalf of the Historical Society, we just cannot say thank you enough to the donors. You help us to do the things that we are passionate about doing, and we